As a professional filmmaker, you will have to conduct so many interviews, and you will need to know how to frame your shots and how to make it look as good as possible. In the last video, we went through lighting and making your background look good. But how do you make your subject look as good as possible? Here are 3 tips plus 1 bonus tip on how you can create better interviews. Number 1, framing. When you have lit your person well and you made your background look nice, you need to make sure that your subject is placed well in frame so it just looks natural and looks good. In most interviews, especially a documentary style, you would want your subject to talk to the interviewer. That means that your subject is not talking directly into camera. You'd want the person to look a bit to the side of the camera, the same side as the light is placed on, and then you'd want some space on this side. That means that you're placing your subject on the opposite side of the light. Number 2, you might have gotten your background nice looking and it's not boring anymore, but you need to make sure that there are enough things on the sides so it just doesn't look empty. I'm just gonna give you an example here. If I'm taking away the light and the plant in the background, you can see that it just gets boring and empty on this side. It just doesn't look right. By making sure that the background is filled with things and there's no empty space, you will just make it easier for your viewer to watch. The third thing is all about depth. This is 2 in 1. Make sure the settings on your camera gives you room to have kind of a blurry background. A blurry background just makes it look more professional. I know that this is a cliche, but it just works. So make sure your aperture value is low. I'm always using my 50mm 1.2 for this. I'm not using the 1.2 aperture. I'm probably having it somewhere between 2 and 3. If you don't have that fast of a lens, that's okay. Just make sure that you have quite a lot of depth in your picture. And this is the number 2 of this tip. Make sure that you are placed far enough from the background to actually get a blurry background. The slower lens you have, the further you need to be away from the background. But also, make sure it's not too blurry, because you do really want to have your whole subject in focus, unless you're going for something special. Okay, now to the bonus tip. Use a bar stool. Why? Because it will make your subject look better. They will straighten up their backs and just have a better posture. This is something that I just realized with myself. So, if you have access to a bar stool, make sure you use that. In the next video, we'll talk about how ND filters can make a huge impact on your videos, also inside. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.